I'm International Master Minh and welcome back to my channel again. So here we are playing one rapid game, trying to cross 1100 obviously, and trying to give you guys some lessons of chess. Feel free to ask me a question. We are playing a 10 minutes game. Hopefully you will find it instructive, and let's start the game right away. Okay, we got an opponent here. The name is Rim CMA from UK. I mean, from from US. Okay, G3. I will play. D5. I think. So G3 here. The idea of him is go for the King's Indian attack, which is called KIA. This is called KIA. Compared to KID by Black, this is called KIA, King's Indian attack. Mostly the idea will be the same. With Black. You know, he go D3, E4 later, and he get the center. So this is called KIA. But I think that he give me the center here. So I will be glad to take the center here first. You see, right? D3. This is called KIA. So what I always mention, I always recommend is to get a center first. Knight F6, defend, activate the knight here, and defend the 5 pawn here. E4. I highly doubt this move. Normally for white, he should play knight 3 first, or knight e2 and then e4. E4 now I think is incorrect, since I can take on e4 right away and open up the d file. Let's go for this one. Now I can take here right now, and you can see that his king now needs to d1, right? And it lost the right castles, and I think that will make it easy for us. I think I can trade queen now, since his king now lost the right castles, and his pawn is not easy here. Bishop e4. This is even worse. The thing now is that I can't even have the bishop pair, and I think bishop pair is just so good for me. In this position, I can't even keep bishop here. Actually, I can't even change my mind. But I will trade queens to follow my plan and tell you what we are going to do. Sure, queen d1. Okay, so now I need to take king here, right? What do we have? Is it usually good for black to trade queen with white? I don't think that is usually good. In this occasion, it is very recommended. His king now lost around the castles. He lost the bishop pair as well. And we can start our developing moves. So I think in this occasion, it is not really correct. So now for black, what can we do? I will start developing first. Bishop c5. Simply develop the bishop with tempo, right? With tempo. And he simply missed it. I can also think of, knight here, bishop here, and castle as well, like what Joe said. F5 also can be considered as well. There are plenty of plans. We got bishop pair, his king is kind of vulnerable, and we are faster in development, so we are good. But here, the opponent make it easy for us by simply dropping the pawn f2 here, and I will gladly accept that. This pawn is good. Knight d5. This move is good. Okay, guys, can you tell me what is his plan right now, and how can we defend that? Can you tell me what is his plan right now, and how can we defend that? When you play in a game, always figure out your opponent's ideas and try to find a way to defend that first. That is called prophylactic. So that is always very important for sure. So trying to look for that. Obviously, this is the ideas, right? This is 7 here. When you see that, so you can find a way to defend that for sure. Yeah, this is correct. I agree with that. But I want to develop first. That's why I will go bishop g4 checks. I check him first, right? With tempo, and then we'll go knight to a6 later. The reason why I play that is that I can even castles faster as well, you see, right? And this one messed up his development. Now he needs to find a way to develop, which is not entirely easy, you see? And now we make a check here, develop with tempo, and our pieces are ready to get out right away. Knight e2, and now knight e6. Defend the c7 pawn, you see, right? And now this is a move. I can even castle as well, and his king is right in the danger, right? Bishop g5, okay? Not a bad move for him. Not a bad move for him. Okay guys, so now he wants to prevent us from castling here. He wants to prevent us from castling. So now what can you do here? He wants to prevent us from castling on the queen side. He wants to prevent us from getting the rook to the d8 square. I agree that the move here should be played is f6. I think f6 now is better. I want to kick the bishop away, right? Not only cement the e5 squares, but also kick the bishop away. Now castles can become a threat. Pawn push later, and then his pieces are on kickback. c6 is fine though, this is a good move too. But I'm afraid of knight e3 probably. Choosing our bishop away. That's why I will play f6 first. And now rook d8 and here whatever are some big threats. That is simply, inevitable, right? Okay. This one, bishop 6, okay, I will talk about later. Good question? That's a good question actually. Rook f1. He is defending pretty well. This is actually not a bad move at all. This is not a bad move at all. I have plenty of things here to play for. But I don't know. I think I want to keep the material alive. Bishop c5. I want to keep bishop pair alive. I love bishop pair. That's why I'm more than happy to keep it alive in the game. And for me, it depends on the position. 4 to 5 moves in advance is really good thing. But in some variations, 6 or 7 or 8 is something I can see in advance as well. So now, if you play here, so for the question, if you play here, right? I can take an e2. Yes. The idea that you may ask is like, okay, he plays this move, which is wrong. You play here, right? Bishop f6. You can play here. Like here and play bishop e2 first. King e2 and we play here and we up material. That's it. Take here. Okay, so only choice. Takes. Only choice. No other move left. Okay, so now what are you gonna do here? Bishop d4. The thing with bishop d4 is that it blocks our d file as well. We're gonna castles here, give a check in the d file, and the bishop here will block our plan. So why he should do that? Okay, rook f6. And guys, and now is the time here. The thing is that the rook somehow blocking his own bishop. That's why castles. With check, right? We get a king to safety and we bring the rook to the game with tempo right away. And now the bishop, it's not in the way of the rook, right? That's my ideas. You see? Please ask me if you don't understand. Okay guys, another move. Now, like to play, how can you activate a piece? How can you activate a piece which is currently not doing anything with threats? How can you get a threat here to your opponent, which is really good? There are plenty of things here. With a second rook d2, this is not a threat. I think this is simply a rook giveaway, I believe. Yes, you guys are correct. This is whatever, this is good too, but knight b4 is very strong. You see, right? The knight in the corner, doing nothing. Now we move into the game with some decisive threat, right? And now it's hard for him to defend everything. This move is definitely good too. Winning material here will definitely be nice. But I will play this one first. Looking for this pawn here, and this fork is not easy to be defended. Doesn't bishop e7 win a piece? Seems to be. I think it's hard to disagree with that. But I want to play this one. I want to play this one first. Like, you know, I mean, the fork here looks pretty cool, and I can get an attack here. C1. Okay, so now time for your moves. Hook K. Okay, bishop e7. Yes, it is. And now we see the pin, right? Thing is not easy here for him at all. He played the only defending move, but this is simply too much for him to handle. Don't forget that we should not take here first. I mean, take here, he can take here, right? And he can get a double attack. The only move here to survive is something like bishop h4, which is very ridiculous. For f7, you can play bishop g5 here, and we win a piece. You see, right? I mean, now we have almost like, okay. I mean, you are correct. You are correct, massive danger. Yeah, I mean, you are just correct. But this is a free piece, right? It's a free piece. And now the rook is under pressure as well. And things are just bad. Very bad for him. You see? We're up 2 bishops, and these are basically unstoppable bishops. The bad news for him is that where can his rook run? Okay, rook b1. But now this pawn is hanging, right? Knight c2 takes the pawn. Why not? Good check. Why not? Right? Why not? Okay, king f2. Next, how can we invade? How can we invade his camp, and how can we force another threat? This move is just pretty easy. And there are plenty of moves. I would say rook d2 is my initial plan. This one is good too. Now, I mean, everything is winning. Everything is winning. But I will go for this move, which looks pretty fun. Bishop e3. Why? Now, his king needs to defend the knight, right? So king f1 looks like a move. But king f1 runs to, you see here, right? King f1, bishop h3 is mid. Is mid actually, is mid. So bishop e3, he simply, I mean, put him in some very, very ridiculous situation, giving away the knight or get mated. He see the mate maybe, so he just give away the knight. But okay, king g2. Take here is good, but I want to be even more brutal. Rook d2. The knight is nowhere to run, right? I just want to activate my own pieces. And now basically you see, right? This is just absolutely winning. Yeah, the power of bishop pair. Just decide the game. Just decide the game. He is not defending greatly at first, and now he's in real trouble. Real trouble actually. We are simply up 3 mana pieces. Kf1. And now, let's try to finish the game. Rook hd8. The final thing to do. Invade the final rook into the game. And let's finish the game right away. He is not defending well. I will come back to the game later to tell you about one of the moves. I can let you know. I can give you the better position. But okay, I will finish this game first. And guys, mate him. This is a final question here. Mate him here. Would like to play and give mate. I think this is easy, right? This is easy. Well, reached to earlier. This is winning 2. I think this is winning 2. I think, which I think give a very nasty check on h3. But he may not be able to defend. But I want to invade on d2 in a game. So, rook g7, and guys, he left the f file open, and boom, and GG. And GG. Correct. This is just over. And a game. We crossed 1100. Yeah, GG's. I don't think you defend well enough. I will come back to explain you guys the thing here really soon. GG's. Okay, that's a win. And we get over 1100. Okay guys, so the game is pretty, I think I would say, straightforward. But let me try and explain the things again for you guys. You will know things like, in a deeper way. And feel free to ask questions if you want to. Sure? So here he played the King's Indian attack. G3 and Bishop D2 here. The idea here, for someone who may play the King's Indian defense, you may know it. It is the same with black. Like Fianchetto, Bishop to G2 and D3, E4, right? For instance, black play here, if you play here, right? So here and here and here, it's just King Xenon defense. And now this is why. This is called King Xenon attack. Obviously, he should play knight 3 as well to make it work. E5. So my plan, and right? He give us the center, and I always believe that getting the center in the opening is a good edge. So no matter what he play, I think just grab the material. I just grab the center, which is good. Why does knight 3 make it work? Well, knight 3 prevent e5, and then now you can play this way, and then there's no e5, and black he cannot get a center so easily. But here he plays g3, and this one allow me to fully grab a center, right? And I think that is better for me, the better version for black. Since now knight 3, right? We can play e4 right away and chasing his knight away, which may be annoying. For him. Modern defense still works against e4, e5. It depends. You can play e4, e5 and like here and here later. But if you play e4, e5, that is not called modern defense anymore. That's it. In the game e5, d3, knight 6, and e4. This is wrong. This is wrong. He should play knight d2 here one first, and then e4 here. But obviously here, so there is a very common threat. Actually, I will show you here real quick. Bishop c5, And here, the main move here, which is like a very nasty trap, is a3. And guys, a small question here. It's pretty easy. Black to play and win. This is a nasty trap. Somehow it may be happen in the game if you are not focusing on your development, or you just let your opponent get the spaces so early in the game. So now you gotta move to decide the game right away for black. Yes, there is a trap here for black. Bishop f2, correct. The idea is to get the knight to g4 here with tempo. So king takes here, right? Knight g4. So now where can the king run? King f3 is a mate. It's a mate here, right? It's a mate here. Right away. King f1 allows knight 3, and this is not good for sure. And king e1, and the queen is fully trapped. You see? And this obviously gives black the winning position. You see? Yes. That's why, basically you need to be careful about the traps. They are annoying. That's it. Very nice traps. That's why I always, recommend you guys to take the center if you can. To take the center if you can, since that is good for you, and also and also that will give you some kind of traps. It is correct. CB is correct. Always look for these two squares here, especially when you see your opponent is behind in development. Correct. E4 in the game takes. So what I think he should play is take here on the E4, this one, right? And Queen D1. And why I think it's better, you know? The thing here I will mention to you is that his king looks pretty bad in the center, right? We are faster in development. We can go here, here, and here right away. Our princess is really active, and you know it's not easy for him to finish his development. That's why here I think that Black is doing really well in this position. I will say that. I will say that. But he plays something even worse. In the game, Bishop E4, this one. Since this gives me the bishop pair, right? And I think this is even the better version of the queen exchange. Also, feel free to ask me a question. I don't know, I mean, compared to Danya, maybe I am not a really good teacher, but I am trying to improve every day. So feel free to ask me a question if you want to. I'm trying to be helpful, trying to, you know, improve my skills. Hopefully. Knight e4, takes Queen d1. Here and Bishop c5. This thing you can see that I can develop the tempo, right? Pieces just get out really quick. Is bishop pair more valuable than the knight pair? Normally it is. Normally it is. You can see that there is an initiative called the bishop pair advantages, right? Nobody have something like knight pair, for a reason, right? For a reason. Normally, most of the time, bishop pair is considered to be a slight edge. A slight edge, The opening should be something like, as I mentioned earlier, knight 3 and here and here and here and here. That's whatever, like here, here and d3 and e4 later. That is the main line of the King's Indian attack. In the game, he missed knight 3, and that is a big difference here. Knight e4, takes here, queen e1, take here. In the game, he simply forget about this pawn, which obviously is a big mistake. Even if you play the best move here, that's like king e2, right? Black can even aim for this one as well if you want to. Sorry, like b6, this one. You see, right? And this is also really annoying. You can already see that like the light squares here seems pretty weak, right? This light square seems pretty weak. And that's definitely not good for you. Right? Definitely not good for you. I would say that. Normally, let's say 92 first and then d3, e4. d3, 92, and e4. In the game, he missed the pawn on f2, and I gladly accept that. Gladly accept that. Take here, d5, check here first. This is really good for sure. But, I want to check first. I want to see what he will do with his position. Also, I want to bring the pieces our tempo. And in the opening, develop a tempo is always a good idea. Understand me? So in the game, he play knight 2, which is correct. Knight here, g5. This is fine actually. But now I play f6. I simply want to kick the bishop away. Kick the bishop away. I think he can even take that. I think in the game, I more or less forget about this. In the game, so I do plan this one as well, which is really good too, really good too. Like here, for instance, here and here and here. You see, right? When, I am down material, but the bishop pair and the pressure in the d file here is giving me more than compensation for the exchange. Actually, this is winning for me. Actually, this is winning for us. I would say that. So in the game, he played f1 here. I come back home. So this square is the best. I mean, this square, he may be able to take on here. I agree. I may play this one first. I think this is safer for sure. Maybe. I think this is like safer options, I believe. In the game, I think I complicate the matters a bit, That is not really good for sure. Okay, f6 in the game, f1. So for someone in the game who asks why not this move, so again, this move is basically blocking the file for the rook on d8. And b6 here maybe it changed, so that's why this is the safest square. And now this is not a good move. Since now, I can take here, or I can simply play this move. Boom. You see, right? And suddenly we got a pin, which will be more or less decisive. You see? So in the game he play knight is here, just back to the pawn, rook is here. The thing that is also, the same as that variation is that if you play here, castles. And once again, that's just so good for us. I don't know. Okay, I will explain the questions later. So so rook here, right? He doesn't have that. I have a check here, right? This is a check. This is a check. I'm sorry, I'm talking so fast. This is check, right? Forcing king e1 and knight b4. He has no time for this, right? He has no time for this. So I can play here right away. Rook c1 in the game, and bishop e7, and that seems to give me material, right? It seems to give me material, and that's just easy win. In the game, so f7, he blundered another pieces, and now everything is just brutal, right? Honestly, I look for this one, yes, but sadly, it doesn't happen. That is a bit unlucky for sure. Okay, any questions about chess or about this game? I will try to answer some other questions later. After the recording. So, any questions for this game? Hopefully, I make the explanation all clear. I'm not really good at that, but I'm trying to improve for sure. Hopefully, you enjoy it, and hopefully, you think that is instructive for you. Sure? You guys can come to my YouTube later and watch the videos. So hopefully you enjoy it. I will upload in YouTube, I think really soon though. Really soon. So hopefully you enjoy the game and you enjoy my explanation for sure. And see you in some other games later.